Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some huge breaking news for MMTLP. So Gary Gensler has just been grilled by Senator Mike Crapo, so I will be sharing details, so stay tuned for that. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first headline here from Market Watch: Apple unveils the iPhone 15 lineup, increases the base price on the highest end model for the first time. So the price has gone up to now it's going to be on sale for $1,199. So we're talking about the iPhone Pro Max. So in other news, the Nasdaq 100 at time of editing was down 1%. Apple was going down after the event, and we can also see that the results for Oracle were not well received, and that has been going down quite significantly. So hopefully better news to come for the markets this week. So I'm going to start by giving a shout out to Busy Brands, who did post the breaking news. So what I have tweeted here is: thank you Mike Crapo for asking some important and tough questions to Gary Gensler regarding MMTLP. So in my opinion, after watching the video, I believe Gary was evasive, deceptive, squirmish and very much on edge. I believe he also failed to elaborate on proven emails between the SEC and FINRA and regarding the fraud investigation that was also shared in the FOIA emails. So what has Gary got to hide? So in terms of the video, what I've also stated here is there was a great introduction by Mike Crapo in his grilling of the incompetent Gary Gensler. So he stated along the lines of: I have questions on climate rules, crypto rules, open-end liquidity rules, but I am going to focus on one of your roles as the cop on the beat to protect investors, MMTLP investors. And I think in terms of the region, we're talking about Idaho, as well as every other MMTLP investor. So in terms of Mike Crapo, I've stated here you are 100% correct in prioritizing MMTLP over crypto, climate rules and liquidity. This is certainly much bigger. Gary knows it's much bigger, and I believe Mike Crapo, you could certainly go down in history as the straw that broke the camel's back. So I'm going to share the audio and the video of this introduction from Mike to Gary, so have a listen yourself.
I've heard from many Idahoans how they've been impacted by the troubling trading halt of the metamaterials, or MMTLP, investors across the country share these same concerns. They have a lot of questions about what happened, the inability to sell the stock, and potential IRS implications. And to get answers about what happened, they've sent letters and made Freedom of Information requests of the SEC and I believe FINRA as well. And as of this point, I don't think we have the full response. And you know that my office has engaged to get answers as well. Can you confirm that the SEC is reviewing the trading halt from December 2022, and will you commit to publicly releasing the SEC's findings on this investigation?
So I'm going to share some reactions to what happened today, and we have had huge coverage, and for the first time ever, I believe MMTLP has now been tweeted by unusual whales. So what they stated earlier today is Senator Mike Crapo asked the SEC Chair Gary Gensler about MMTLP today. So that's going to give huge coverage. So we're looking at just in excess of 95,000 views at time of editing there, and that will also be growing. So huge eyes on MMTLP right now. So Charles Payne, again, credit to Charles. He's also posted, bam, this is the American taxpayers' dollar working for Main Street's interest, MMTLP fiasco hashtag. So again, I think in terms of Charles, he is one of our long-standing supporters, so credit to Charles. So John Berda stated, thanks Mike Crapo for the questioning, textbook non-answer by Gary Gensler, time to subpoena the information. The capital markets are all fraud in his opinion, and they all know, and worse, to allow this to continue. So Anna has also stated here, this is a historical moment in American history. I do agree. And the questions to Gary Gensler: do investors hold, MMT investors hold counterfeit shares? So again, I don't think that was answered. This is a huge win for retail, and it could be certainly a historic moment. So what Hammer stated here is they lied. The SEC and FINRA spoke. It's in an email. So again, great point there by Ham, because it was also revealed in the FOIA email. So what Mark has stated here, I think something interesting he stated is, mark your calendars for today's date. We should be very proud. And the last sentence here, this should lead to congressional subpoenas as well as congressional hearings. So I do look forward to that, and I certainly hope that is true and that does happen. What Jim 007 has stated here is, Gary looked very nervous answering questions. He knows there is fraud. So I do agree, and I do believe that there is some truth in that. And Happy and Positive has also stated, Gary Gensler, during Mike Crapo's questioning today, you stated that the SEC examines FINRA, complies with the regulations annually. MMTLP has been halted now for close to 10 months. And have you examined FINRA's adherence to the rules? I await your swift response, but I don't think there will be any response. And what Jimmy has stated here, it would be nice to have legitimate body language specialists to go over this. To me, it looks like stumbling, looking off to the side and above. I would assume all of these are tells. So from my point of view, if there are any detectives, police officials and people working in the criminal sector, if you could look at the body language and behaviour of Gary Gensler to give us opinions on his evasiveness, that would certainly be something that we will look at as circumstantial evidence for him being non-cooperative. So again, great post there. And what Buddy has stated here is great questioning from Mike regarding MMTLP, but Gary Gensler continues to evade the issue, refusing to provide any specifics. Yeah, great post, and that is certainly true about the trading call or the share count, and even acting as if he's not sure of the company's name, calling it Metamaterials, I think he did in response to Mike. And Gandalf has stated, what stood out for him is Gary Gensler confirmed the SEC may only make sure that FINRA followed their own rules, not anything else outside of that. So again, a significant amount of invasiveness from Gary there. If FINRA come out with a new rule, the SEC makes sure FINRA simply follows the rules. The SEC does not make sure that FINRA rules are okay to impose. So again, not great answers there from Gary. What I'd now like to do is give special thanks to the MMTLP team from Idaho. So shout out here to Ken Cap, and he stated this was 100% an Idaho state group effort. Everybody in the state group has been working together so hard as a team. We've been working together specifically on Senator Crapo beginning from December 2022 when obviously there was first contact initiated. I do believe in the first contact wasn't as productive as we have just received, but credit to the Idaho team there. So the next shout out I'm going to give is to David Lauer, who stated, I think part of what he's saying, he's talking about Gary, is that the OTC market is governed by FINRA rules and that FINRA's responsibility to follow those rules. He explained that the SEC does not examine FINRA to ensure FINRA is following on its own rules. But from my point of view, and the response to David is not really a case of what Gary said. I think it's more a case of what Gary did not say. This is what we should be focusing on. So I've stated here that Gary did not say and was unable to clarify, and what he just avoided was, is there or is there not an investigation by the SEC? What is the fraud investigation that was discussed in the FOIA emails? Why did FINRA break their own rules? What are the FINRA and SEC concerns regarding the release of the blue sheet data, and why would that be a threat to the markets? So simple questions, but no answers provided whatsoever. So next shout out here is to Gregory Smith, probably somebody you may not have heard of, but he's very important, I believe. He stated just a simple tweet, kudos to Senator Crapo. So this is a profile of Gregory Smith. He's the chief of Staff to Congressman Republican Eli Crane. So remember, Eli Crane is also one of the senators here behind the Fabulous 15, if we want to call them, in terms of the letter. So again, great post there from Gregory Smith. And just to finish off with our friendly FINRA tweet, and what they've stated here is our Board of Governors is about to convene for the September 2023 meeting. So what I have stated, tagging in FINRA, is it would be great if they could invite Senator Mike Crapo as a special guest to this meeting. I'm sure it will be able to add some value to your agenda with some nice and easy questions for you to answer and get your meeting started. And finally, thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.